Yeah. All right, you guys ready? Again, appreciate you guys being here. 2 days now, or 2 practices away from the scrimmage on Saturday. We got a chance to go out on Saturday and get some really good work in. Just under 130 plays, and that's what we were shooting for, to get 130 plays, live reps, and see what the guys can do without the coaches on the field. And it was a heavy move the ball type scrimmage, but then mixed in with some situational things. We had a short yardage scrimmage involved. Had some second downs and third downs, and then some move the balls on the kind of the plus side of the field. Have a chance to work, kind of working towards the red area, into the red area. But overall, pleased with the effort. Pleased with the way the guys were really learning how to practice. That's the biggest thing. The competition we had out there. We're playing cleaner football. Still have a ways to go as far as the discipline we want to instill. On a consistent basis. A lot of it comes, the pre-snap, the alignments, the stances, things like that we got to make sure we're extremely detailed on. And things we coached the first day of practice, we can't lose sight of the 8th and 9th day of practice. We got to still harp on those things and make them just as important as they were the first day. And that's what really I'm challenging the coaches to do, and the coaches are challenging the players to do. But overall, I was pleased. Really, the outcome of the scrimmage of where we wanted to be. With that said, we got a long way to go. It really started on Monday. Came out Monday's practice and had an extra hour of meetings on Monday to allow that scrimmage really to be put to bed and get all the corrections made from it. And then came out on the field for about an hour and 20 minutes, but still in full pad, still full team run, and really beginning into more of the situational play, the red area, some third downs, some forced drills. So, and the kids could have, taken advantage of that day and said, hey, look, this is a shorter practice. We're banged up from Saturday scrimmage, but they didn't. They came out. They came out with the right frame of mind, which was really encouraging to me. Continue to improve on how to practice, and that's what I told them after practice today was, the more we continue to improve on how to practice, the more that's going to carry over throughout the whole summer and into preseason, and really just become a building block on as we build the foundation, this team that we want to have. So. Again, I think we've got a long way to go. I'm excited about, where this team can be as the season gets closer, but not necessarily excited about where we're at now. But that's part of it. That's part of the process of laying the foundation. But have been pleased with their response to what we've challenged them with, and their response to the adversity that they've been through in different situations within the game. So, with that, open up for any questions.
Brent, I was just curious if you could share your thoughts on each of the 3 quarterbacks right now and kind of where they're at in that competition.
Yeah. It's a competition for sure. It really is. Zach has experience, playing in games here. Obviously, Haynes has experience playing in games somewhere else. And then, the Zachs both, when there's a familiarity with the guys around you, it puts the guys on offense at ease a little bit. It's a voice they recognize. It's the cadence becomes a rhythmic coming from that person. So there's a familiarity that both of the Zachs came in with. I think all 3 have strengths. All 3 have things they got to continue to work on. But all 3 have shown in different times and different situations the poise and the ability to take control of the offense and execute what we want them to do. Now, as the situational part of the game really kicks up, as this week continues to go on through the scrimmage on Saturday, that's where you really start to see the command have to take place. And then as tempo continues to increase, it's the ability to be able to play with at a high tempo on offense, be able to play really fast, but that quarterback have command and control of the offense and keep them calm while they're doing it. So I've been pleased with the progression of all 3 of them. I think Buster does a really good job. It was the first time on the headsets, hearing him call, an entire game. So that was good for me to hear, how he calls it, the flow of the game, and how he really adapts the way he calls it with each quarterback that's in there. So it puts him in positions to make plays and take advantage of our strengths and make sure we stay away and kind of disguise and hide some of our deficiencies.
Rob. Some of the assistant coaches have talked about the mental aspect of the game. picking up what they're supposed to be doing out there, assignments, that type of thing, leading to them being able to play better physically. What have you seen in that respect?
Well, the big thing is I feel like we have really good teachers, and that's what you look for in a coach. I think I've said it before. I wanted to hire great men who were great husbands, great fathers, great teachers, and great recruiters. And we've hit the nail on the head with that. I mean, they're tremendous teachers, not only in the classroom, but teachers on the field. And I firmly believe, that's all coaching is. Coaching is teaching, and teaching is the ability to inspire learning. And to get these kids to come out and play a hard game and have a hard practice, but to keep the mental edge and the mental part of it. I've been really encouraged with that part, because if you're thinking, it's going to slow you down. You can become paralyzed by overanalyzing things. So the way they've simplified a lot of things, all the coaches, offense and defense and special teams. I mean, Ricky's done a tremendous job of being able to install the teams and keep their attention within the meetings. Get a lot of content in within those meetings. And then come to the field, and those guys be able to drill it and then execute it. So I've been pleased with the progression of the mental aspect, because that's only going to prove how fast we can play and how physical we can play in the game.
Okay. You were just talking about the quarterbacks. In Haynes' case, that's obviously somebody that fans aren't going to be familiar with. What have you really learned about him during this period?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a high IQ, high football IQ. Anybody that's played in games, and that's, like I said earlier, that's the real advantage we have. We have three quarterbacks that have all played in games, in college football games. You can't replace experience at all. He's, as someone who is new, to the team, he commands respect in the locker room, respect on the field. That's something you look for. That's one of the top qualities of quarterback, is the leadership, his ability to lead others. So I've been encouraged with that, out of Haynes.
What's something we haven't asked you about, maybe that's interesting with this team, or an aspect that maybe has impressed you that we haven't talked about yet?
Kickers. We started into last week, and then this week, today was our first reps of live field goals. So been encouraged where Gavin has left off from. A lot of the punt drills we've been doing, the progression of David in his punting. So I think we have a chance to have a chance to have a really solid core there. But again, the kicker is the one that gets the praise and the blame in the kicking game, but it's those other 10 guys around him doing their job as well. So I think the kickers have done a nice job of picking up where they left off and improving what they needed to improve in the offseason. I think we've got a really solid tight end room. We really do. That was evident by some of the production we had on Saturday. And really, the play of that position, it's such a combo position where they have to be an O-lineman half the time, and a receiver half the time, and a running back protecting half the time. There's a lot on their plates. I think that's a really, really solid room, and we still don't have Luke back full go yet. So we have a chance to have a solid room there, which I'm excited about. I think that's a real security blanket for the quarterback, to be able to have that guy in close proximity to him. And then we got some guys that can have some matchups. And Dylan might not have had the production that Brett did on Saturday as far as catching the football, but I mean, Dylan Leonard has really had a tremendous spring so far. I would say, if not one of the top performers so far this spring, just from a consistency all around.
Naturally, on the defensive side of the ball, the defensive line plays a big role. Every time we come out here for interviews, we always see them down there putting in the extra work. What have you seen from that group?
Yeah, it starts with the way the defense is evolved and has evolved. The ability to affect a quarterback with four guys, it really helps the rest of the defense. We understand our strengths and weaknesses when it comes to that. So we have some big, powerful guys over there now, and we have a good mix of some big, powerful, strong guys, as well as some guys that have some quicks and do things on the move. And the combination of that, it really starts with what Marco has done, with that group, coaching all four of them, and how he's got them all four playing together. And he has such a unique ability to coach guys extremely hard, but command so much respect out of them, and know that that relationship's with them off the field. I mean, he's done it at the highest level. He's now got a lot of experience in coaching and coaching at different places. His progression as a coach has really been one of the most fun things that I've been able to see just this, not just the spring, but the off season as well. And his teaching mannerisms. So he's got those guys playing good football, and it's not always a sack that the defense gets. That's what shows up on paper, but that D-line can affect the quarterback a lot of different ways, and they're doing that in different ways right now.
We got Josh Crawford the other day, and he seems like such an energetic, positive guy. Just what have you thought about the way he's been working with these guys?
Yeah, he has. When I was putting together the staff, that was one thing that I wanted. I wanted coaches from all different levels. NFL, college, high school, guys with experience coaching a lot of different types of ball. The one thing, when you coach high school ball, I mean, you're not going out and recruiting those guys. I mean, it's who lives in your zone, who lives in your area, and you're coaching those guys up. And you really see those traits in Josh. You see the traits of the ability to coach anybody up. It's not just coaching the starters or coaching the top two guys. I mean, all 10, 12, 14 guys, Josh coaches the exact same, and you see the elevation of them, just the connection he has with them off the field, where he has the ability to be real and honest and coach them hard. But kind of like I said about Marco, at the same time they know that there's a care factor there off the field, and he's coaching them to get them better. And that's what we all want. We all want to be coached and taught and motivated to play at a high level, coach at a high level, and he's done that. But the teacher in him is what I think really comes through as a coach, and a lot of that comes from having 12 years at the high school level. And then I think it goes without saying his ability as a recruiter. I'd be hard pressed to say if I've seen anybody that works harder than he does at the recruiting game.
Obviously, you made the decision to keep Andrew as the defensive coordinator, and I'm curious kind of what you've seen in terms of just changes maybe he's made or some things being a little uncuffed and being able to work within your desired framework just of the defense and kind of what you're looking for in terms of changes there.
Yeah. Well, the first thing on defense is you don't want to beat yourself, and you want guys on defense to play hard, to be confident in what they're doing, to be sure that if they do something, if they do make a mistake, that there's 10 other guys rallying behind them, rallying at the football. I've known Andrew a long time. He was a GA for us in 2007, 2008, I believe, at UCF, and then had the opportunity to hire him back later on in our tenure down there as a position coach. So I've been fortunate enough to see Andrew's progression from really being a first-year GA all the way now, and the things he's brought with, the things that he's brought from each stop he's had. And again, you're talking about somebody that's coaching the NFL, and he has a very, very high level of football knowledge. The most impressive thing about Andrew, and this goes back when he was a GA. I remember one time, and I kid with him a lot on this. He came up to me one day and said, Coach, I want to make sure that when I get a full-time job one day that I'm always able to keep energy and keep the guys, keep them going, and that I've got as much energy as they do. They see that I've got as much energy as they do on the field that I'm asking them to do, and that's what he does. He has a lot of energy. He has passion. The thing he's done is his teaching and his presentation of material has evolved so much in the time, in the recent time we've been together. He is as loyal as they come when it comes to giving a direction of the program, giving the direction of what type of message you want through the meetings. I'm not a big team meeting guy. I'd rather have give the message to the coordinators and have the coordinators give it to their staff and the coordinators give it to the players. I think that builds a lot more ownership on each side of the football, all three phases, if those coordinators can have that responsibility. And again, that's how you elevate coaches. That's how you develop coaches. Give them responsibility to do things, and then trust that they're going to do it. And then when it doesn't go the right way, that you correct them and you fix those things. He's done all of those and more. He really has. He knows a lot of football, but he's also willing to learn more. I mean, he's a guy he's going to be in here, even in the off season. He's here late at night, clinicking, whether it's on a Zoom or has somebody in here, clinicking, learning, and not to add more things to what we do, but how do we make what we do better? How do we take something we might be deficient in, whether it be personnel or scheme-wise, and work to fix it? So I've been pleased, really, really pleased with the way he has developed, and in his development of coaching the coaches. That's where he has really taken that second step and is the leader of the room.
Got time for a couple more. Is there anything in the back? That's good. Okay. Rob?
Travares is one of the holdovers from the when you were interim coach. He has a group that's it's pretty deep there. And what has he done that it's allowed guys to plug guys in? You know, maybe at nickel, back at safety, moving guys around and preparing them for different situations that take place in the games.
Yeah, secondary and offensive line, although they might be the two furthest looking positions from each other, are probably the two most similar. And be able to have position flexibility in there where the nickel star might go down, but yet you're not necessarily now you're putting your next best DB in the game. Well, it causes people to have to move around a little bit. So his ability to create that in his position group, and then when you're coaching, obviously two corners, two safeties, and a nickel. I mean, it's kind of like the line. You got two guards, two tackles, and a center. All of them have different things that you're coaching and that you're teaching them. So you've got to be able to manage a lot of information, but then also be able to teach it to those guys individually, and so collectively they play together. So it's very similar in regards to offensive line. It's also very similar in one mistake by one of those guys shows up with a big play. You can't really hide at that position. So to be able to take the individual drills and coach all of them in the same time, he's another one's really, really grown as a football coach. The thing Travares has, he has such command and such respect of those guys. He's done it at the highest level. He's done it here at a high level. But there's no phony to Travares. I mean, he's as real as they come. He's a straight shooter, and I think the kids really respect that.
Gabe, if you want to wrap this up.
Just what have you been looking for out of Malik Rutherford, and does it seem like he's really a great fit in Buster's offense?
Yeah, Malik's a guy that really started coming on at the end of the season. And if you really go back and look at some of the games towards the end, some of the things he was doing in a little more limited role, he was somebody that had really caught our attention then. His love for the game and the energy that he brings, all 150 pounds in his body are full of energy. They really are. And you talk about somebody that's 155, 160 pounds, soaking wet. He plays like he's about 195, 200 pounds. He's physical, he's tough, he's not afraid to do the dirty work and get in there and block. His personality is infectious. Love being around him, and he elevates the play of others around him because he does have so much energy and loves playing the football game. At the end of the day, it's still a game. It's a hard game to go out and practice every day and prepare, but it's a game. And when you can take those qualities of a great football team and you can work and prepare every day and develop the toughness that you have to, the physical toughness, the mental toughness, have the discipline, all those things, but still go out there and have fun, right? That's when you have a chance to do something really good.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys. Go Jackets.